Hello, hello. Welcome to the Big Bad Marketing Podcast. I'm Janae.
And I'm Brooke, and we are two entrepreneurs jumping headfirst into building a business.
We're marketers and content creators at heart. And in this podcast, we help small business owners learn how to play big with their marketing efforts, even on a small business budget.
So if you're ready to make big bad moves in your professional life, this podcast is for you.
And
Episode
this,
3.
yes, this is episode 3. We're really nailing it
And
with the intro.
we are. So, business cards, are they relevant in 2025? Do you even need them when everything is so digitized?
Yes and no, I think is the answer that we're coming to.
So, let's go through the yes first.
Please.
So, I think depending on the kind of business you're running and the type of clients that you serve, in certain realms, I think business cards are essential. So, in my experience, attending certain networking events with people of a particular age and generation, there's sort of this expectation of we're going to exchange business cards, and that is the way that we are, connecting the physical LinkedIn connection. That's what we're doing. And so when I went to my first Chamber of Commerce event a couple of months ago, I was super new in building my business. I did not yet have a website. I did not yet have cards. And I had 5 or 6 people come up to me and say, "Hey, give me one of your cards." And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't have them right now. I will have them next time I come to an event. So then I went home and obviously I ordered the business cards and now I'm able to hand them out at events. But it just felt like missed opportunity. So
Sure.
I think in certain context, like if you know that you're attending a particular networking event, 100% order yourself some business cards. They don't need to be fantastic. And we'll sort of go into what you need on your business card later on in the episode. But I think for businesses that are working with a clientele of, Gen X and boomers and even millennials, I think that's, relevant for our generation too. I think Gen Z is sort of where I get hung up on maybe these are going out of style, but I'm not sure on that.
Sure, definitely. Even in reading about this, there's a lot of questions on the sustainability piece, which I'm
Mm,
not poo-pooing because I am in alignment with like, let's make sustainable decisions. But I can see that being a challenge in a world where when people hand me flyers, very often I just throw them away. I don't even look at them. So I get that question. But outside of that, and I think you're answering like, yes, it is a valuable tool. You can hand it out at networking events. Um, but that's not to say that's the only way to share your contact information. And I think there are some digital ways to do that that maybe answer this sustainability question that still help show up as a professional. They still help you show up as a professional. And then the other people in the room respect you because you're like, oh, hey, here, scan this QR code. And then you can find all my content. And I'm sustainable in doing that. And I'm still here. I'm still real, where I imagined you standing in the room and people maybe in a different age group are asking you for a business card and you're like, oh, I don't have one. And it maybe made you feel like, dang, they're not going to be able to find me.
yep, exactly. I think the sort of digital equivalent of the business card being the QR code, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think there are a lot of people who are doing that.
Mhm.
I think I saw somebody with a QR code like on the back of their phone so that they could just be like, here, scan this
Super
to find
accessible.
me. Yeah,
That's like I had my
exactly.
business card in my back pocket. Here you go.
Exactly. It's yeah,
Hmm.
the new age equivalent, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, and so I think it does depend a lot on which industry you're in, like you mentioned. And some places where it seems extra relevant are like when your job is one-on-one with another person, so your client and you directly interact. Where maybe if you're in like a SaaS company or some sort of big box business and you don't even ever physically meet with your clients or the people you're working with or project teams, it's no longer relevant or it's not the most useful. Where if you are a real estate agent, you probably do want to have a back pocket filled with business cards that you can hand out anytime, anywhere. Or I was even thinking the last time that I got my hair cut, I was like so excited that the hairdresser gave me a business card, which I now have in my wallet. And I'm like, I'm gonna call you when it's time. And now I have your phone number right here. Where in other cases, a random person hands me a business card from a big business and I don't necessarily need to contact them individually. I'm like, okay, what should I do with this card?
Completely agree with that. And I think in many ways, your business card is an extension of that personal brand. So, to your point, when I am servicing people directly and I want them to reach out to me because I am my brand, then 100% I need a business card or a digital business card equivalent that I'm prepared to give to customers because my face, my card, my brand, it all ties together and I am one cohesive brand.
Yes. And to that end, the business card itself in an ideal world should represent you in exactly the same way. And I think we talk about this through line in a lot of marketing projects, like every touch point of your marketing. So your website and your social media and your emails, there should be a consistent brand voice and design and style. And the business card fits right in there with that. It should follow all of those things the same way.
Absolutely. And I think something as simple as consistency in your logo, consistency in your font, your colors, the way that you refer to yourself, your title, just keep those things the same across all of your platforms and mediums. And that way you don't create this fractured experience where you hand me a business card with some big purple bubbly font and then I go to your website and it's green and it's very straight and harsh angles and then I start to say, well, who is Janae really and what is she doing here? So always create the cohesive experience anytime you can.
Yes, there's nothing more internally distressing on like a low key level for a consumer than visiting a website and seeing it one way and then going to experience the brand in person and it's different and then the emails are different and yeah, you end up being puzzled by sort of the brand identity and like who is this, what is this about? So definitely the consistency is key here.
Yeah, 100%. So let's talk a little bit about for the people that want the physical business card. What are we going to include? What should we definitely not be including? So I think from a very basic standpoint, you obviously want the name of your business. So that can be printed name or ideally your logo that matches all of your other efforts, digital and physical. Um, Slogan, if that's something that's, helpful and relevant in identifying you, your name, your title, which the beauty of being a small business owner, you get to make it up. So if you are brand new building a business, you can call yourself the CEO, you can call yourself the founder, you can call yourself the,
President,
president, the best mate, like whatever you want to be. If you own a dog grooming business, you can be the chief dog officer. Like
big
make
bad
it
boss.
big bad boss, like make it for you. Obviously, if you're an accountant, you're probably going to put, accountant, CPA, something that is a bit more
Number cruncher.
professional. Yes, but if you're in a more creative space where people can be more accepting, don't be afraid to have a little fun with it. And then obviously your contact information. So be sure to put your phone number and email, as well as your website or your link tree, which I'll let
Yes.
you talk a little bit
Yes.
about.
Well, that also, so the link tree, I was realizing when we were talking about this the other day, maybe there was a disconnect because a link tree really is just a QR code that leads you back to a link tree. So that's a URL where you can post buttons to get to different places you want your users, your audience to see. So maybe you're promoting a new podcast like episode 3 business cards. Um, and you've just published a blog and you want people to be able to reach you about your service package that you're promoting right now. And you want them to be able to make an appointment on your calendar. You've got all of these different sort of CTAs, calls to action. And when people visit this QR code, they will be able to see very clearly all of the different options they have in terms of contacting you, and then just click the one that's applicable to them. So, really, just like broadens your reach, makes it a little more accessible for the user. And the beauty of this tool, Linktree. So, this is not an ad, but plugging for Linktree here. Like You can update that on the fly at any time. You can add new buttons. You can take old ones away. So as a podcast becomes irrelevant or you've produced a new one, you just switch it out. And now you handed out your business card 3 weeks ago, but today you published this podcast. You could just go right in there and in the instant change the button to today's podcast. And then whoever's watching clicking into the QR code now can see that new one. So it's real time updates. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, and I think it really gives you the opportunity to control what people are first seeing when they come to you. So if you make a sudden pivot and you're no longer offering a particular service, maybe you deprioritize that in your link tree or take it off entirely and you say, you know what, we're really in podcast mode now. So we're just going to list our top 5 podcast episodes, and that's all you're going to see when you visit the link tree because we really want you to listen to our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
When I initially made my business cards, I just did a QR code that goes to the homepage of the website, which is fine, but it also doesn't allow me to guide people where I really want them to go based on my business goals and priorities.
Sure. And I think that this is where the conversation of like, is a business card still relevant becomes so applicable because the answer is yes. And yes. And if you make it digital friendly, then you have even more power in your hands to continuously update what people have access to, what your priorities are, what your current services are. Where in the past, a business card was just like, here's my phone number. Call me if you can ever benefit from my services. And now it's like, hey, real time, check what my services are at any moment. And that's going to change. And they don't have to be privy to like all of the changes, just that there's new things available to them.
Yeah, and I think that's super important too when you operate a business that people only call when they need you. So, say you run a roofing company and you go out and you hand out your business card to all these homeowners, they only need you, every 15, 20 years when they replace the roof or when the roof has a leak. So, by giving them the card that's still going to be relevant 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, then when they go to your link tree, it's like, oh, they've got running a promotion right now for end of the year. That's great. Good to know for the homeowners. So yeah, just gives you a lot more flexibility, I think.
Sure. And it's making me think of a time recently when someone handed me a business card because I was walking my dog outside and they came over. They were walking a dog and they were just like, oh, look how cute your dog is. And just chitty chatty for a second. And then, oh, by the way, I am a dog walker. And they handed me their business card. And I have yet to call them, but it's on my refrigerator because I'm like, I will actually need that service at some point. So maybe transitioning here in this conversation, but like the relevance of how you hand it out, where you hand it out, what the moment is like, and then knowing the time, the lag time between when you give it to someone and when they will actually use it. You have to be pretty clear about all of those steps, but open to the fact that the business card, maybe no one's going to call you today, but they will call.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a great use of business cards. Like, hey, by the way, I'm a dog walker. I love that. Good for them.
Yes,
Great
yes.
marketing.
Excellently capitalizing on like a realistic moment as well. Cause I'm like targeted audience. I am walking a dog. Like clearly I am walking a dog. I have a dog. I may at some point need your service. And
Absolutely.
I'm like, can we simplify this process for other people by helping them think it through in the same way? Like when and where can you capture the people who you're targeting and hand out your business card in a really fluid way that will have a return on the investment by them calling you later.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. So, as we think about all the things to include on the business card, just want to talk quickly about things not to include. So, I would shy away from putting any type of promotional offers that are going to expire. So, if you run seasonal promotions, I would not list them on your card. Anything that is like we're talking about with the link tree, you want to stay relevant with that card for as long as possible. So, don't put something on there that's going to uh, prevent that card from being valuable in the future. Or, you know, it's sort of the equivalent of that then turning into like a one-time flyer for a promotion. That's going
Right.
to expire at a certain point. You want your business card to be very evergreen. The other thing I've seen on business cards is headshots.
Okay.
I I
Ooh,
don't
not a fan, huh?
I'm not a fan. What are your thoughts?
You know what? I've used a headshot on a resume before. I'm interested in that, but I agree with you. Although I can see circumstances where it would be more appealing, like real estate agent comes to mind, um, or financial planner. A lot of those types of services I have seen headshots on, and I'm more okay with it because I'm like, oh, this is the actual accountant. This is the actual person I will be working with. And this is the face that I made the initial connection with. Where maybe my hairdresser, I'm less inclined to see their face every time I'm considering, like, oh, I should go get a haircut.
Yeah, I wonder if it maybe lends a certain credibility, like you were talking about, for certain professionals who are very dependent on themselves as the brand. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely see the real estate agent thing, the financial planner thing. I get that. I think it's a little bit less important for businesses selling products. I would
Okay.
I would probably steer clear of the headshot when you are selling juice at the local farmers market, like make it about the juice.
Sure. Sure. Or in our case, like as digital marketers, it's a service that's sort of a product, right? But mainly it's a service, but people are not benefiting so much from you and I as the people doing it in the same way a real estate agent and their client are partnering together like that for this really intimate experience.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to say the thing we're selling them has less to do with us. The thing that we're
Yes.
selling and offering has less to do with us and the end result of that.
Yes. Totally agree. So I think sort of again that one-on-one professional relationship where you're going to work super closely with this person for a duration and you really
Mm,
want them to know you, then
yes.
maybe explore the whole headshot on the business card thing. I'm not gonna, it's a not a
Sure.
never say never for me. And then you've brought me to the other side. I think initially I'm kind of eh, but you know, and I think it part of it too goes back to the evergreen thing. And I have
Yes.
seen some people who the picture on their LinkedIn does not in fact look like them because that was 10 years ago and we have
Oh,
changed and we're just, keeping that same younger image, which I,
yes.
on the one hand appreciate and understand, but also is make it make sense.
Agree with that.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned the social handles, and I'm interested in that too, because I think for business cards, simplicity is going to trump everything. So keeping it as simple as possible, but not simpler than that, right? Like making sure people can contact you in a easeful way and reach out to you directly, but without overwhelming them with too much stuff. So I think everyone could be the judge of that on their own. Like if there's a lot of stuff and it's busy and no one's clear of actually how to contact you, maybe avoid adding too many social handles, right? Um, but if that's the only way that you want them to contact you, then by all means, that would be a great tool to have on there.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of driving people to your website because it's a thing that you own and you probably have an email list and you're going to be building from that. And I know a lot of these social platforms have been around for some time, and I'm not saying Facebook is going to go away tomorrow, but I think I am just more of a fan of pointing someone to a thing that you own and not something that could be gone at some point. Unless, of course, you are literally an Instagram influencer and that is how you earn your living. And
Sure.
yeah,
Sure. But this ties into like think through the whole process. What is your plan? What is your sales funnel? Because if you point people to your Instagram page, what is it that you want them to get from that, right? Where if
yeah.
they're on your website, they have access to so much more content that's really specific to you. On your Instagram page, they can very easily land on someone else's page and never come back.
Exactly. And from your website, you will have a link to your Instagram. So it's not like you're
Yes.
preventing them from that. But to your point, keep the business card simple, give somebody a couple calls to action, right? They can call you, they can email you, or they can go to where your QR code is and let that be that
Mm-hmm.
and don't overcomplicate it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And while not overcomplicating it, how can someone order or where should they order a business card that makes it really simple for them so they don't have a million hoops to jump through and go measure out the cards and cut them themselves. How can they make this process easy?
Yeah, I love Canva. I feel like Canva just makes design really approachable for the average person. And I think too, if you already have a logo, you can design your own business card. Of course, if
Mm-hmm.
you want to pay the money to have a designer do it for you, I think that makes sense for certain people, but the programs for these cards are now so straightforward and simple. I love
Mm-hmm.
Vistaprint for printing, and they have a build card feature when you go in there that they will literally walk you through building your business card. And you can get something that's really simple, but makes sense for your business and includes everything that you need. So when I initially did business cards, I ordered them through Canva and the print quality was terrible. So I don't know if it was something that I messed up on my end in terms of the colors that I selected or what, but after looking around a little on Reddit, of course, after I received them and was very upset, turns out that that's a pretty common thing. So, what I have done now is I create the card template using Canva and then I go to Vistaprint to print them. Vistaprint has been amazing. They've got different styles of cards that you can pick from. You can get, the rounded corners versus the square corners. You can get all these different crazy shapes, which I,
Oh,
I
shapes.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of like the oval or the circle business cards because, again, some of the people who are looking to receive your business card use those little rectangular card holders and they might get a circle card and be
Oh.
like, this doesn't fit. I can't make this fit. So, things to consider.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think one of the points here is like how to differentiate yourself with a card. Like we're saying be simple and be straightforward and clear and easy, but it's also very easy in doing that to just be lost in a sea of other business cards and all the other flyers and nonsense that comes through. So I like the shapes and I'm wondering how you can play off of that in a really interesting way, like feel like you don't fit in, and then like they literally can't fit the business card in their card holder. um Not that that's the best way to do it. I'm just saying like how to introduce some creativity into the card and into your branding, really, as what it boils down to set you apart and be interesting. Do you think a business card is a good place for that?
I, so I don't personally. I sort of think of your business card as kind of your ID for your business. It's like your driver's license, and everybody has a driver's license, and I just don't feel like that is necessarily the best medium to differentiate. I feel like there's sort of this, and maybe it's just a societal cultural expectation for the business card. Um, of course, if you are super creative or you want to go with like a hemp business card because you are more concerned about sustainability, like I think that sort of within the realm of the existing business card structure, you can have a little bit of fun with it, but I
Hmm.
don't know that it's the right place to go way outside of the box, unless, of course, that's your MO and
Sure.
that's kind of very on brand for you, in which case, go for it.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Being creative within the realm of keeping it the way that it already exists.
Yeah, it's kind of like with a website, like you're gonna have a contact page. You're gonna have a page that outlines your services. You're gonna have a section where you tell a little bit about yourself. And it's sort of like, yes, within the confines of the structure of a website that people have come to understand, you can have a little bit of fun and play with the design and things. But at a certain point, you still need to have those core elements
Hmm.
because that's what your consumer is expecting.
Sure. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so to wrap up, when should somebody be handing out business cards or at least showing a QR code to scan, something like that?
Why don't you take that one?
Well, I know you were mentioning networking events, so Chamber of Commerce, and when you're having new introductions or you're in a business meeting, or I think we were top of mind relevant is holiday parties right now. It's like holiday season and lots of events where it's just easy to be like, oh yeah, what do you do? I do this. Oh, here's my card. Let me know if I can ever help you out. Um, and then I think there's also some situations. where I'm working towards more casual opportunities to hand out a card. So I'm like in the local pizza shop, like, I love your pizza, by the way, and I saw your website, and I know you have some progress on your website, but if you ever need a little more help, like I do this, and I'd love to help you, and just pass the card off and then run out the door and hope they call you one day, right? But
Yeah.
part of it is just like just getting it out there, because I think as an entrepreneur and small business owner, the momentum comes from just saying it and giving it out. And it's not even that that person's ever going to call you. It's just that process of saying, hey, I'm here, I exist. And that helps us build the mentality.
Yes. Love it. Your business card should say, I exist. Here's what you need to know. Here's how to get a hold of me. Boom.
Yes.
Done. All right. That's a wrap. Episode 3. Thanks for listening.
Yes. We're not financial or medical experts, and we don't pretend to play them on TV.
Everything we say is for educational purposes to help you build a bigger, badder business.
Please do not sue us.